Okay, this video is about choosing a topic and getting focused and the three rules of expository topics. So in previous videos, I explained what exposition does. Exposition reveals, it exposes, it sheds a light, shines a light on a topic. So you got to pick a topic, and this is really challenging for students. There are classes that assign topics, and that doesn't work for me. And after this short video, you're going to understand why. There is a old saying about writing called write what you know. So this idea of writing what you know sounds very simplistic, but it's really fundamental to writing as a academic pursuit, as a professional task, as a basic act of communication. You can only really write well when you know what you're writing about. And I've had many high school students recognize that awful feeling they had in the pit of their stomach in high school as they were trying to write about something is connected to the fact that they didn't know anything about it. They were trying to write about a book that they were supposed to read that they didn't. They were trying to write about a topic that they didn't really understand well. My niece was just assigned a topic to write about genetically modified foods. She's 14 years old, and she's going to write about genetically modified foods. That is not going to be a good writing experience for her, and she's not going to create good product because she doesn't know what she's talking about. So in this class, you have to write expository essays, and the challenge is to inform your readers. So your readers are intelligent, curious, and open-minded college students of information they may not know, or present information in a way they may not have considered. So you are teaching your audience. You're not telling it what it already knows. You're facilitating a relationship between the audience and your topic. That's what good expository writing does. So I've designed 3 rules to help students find expository topics. Rule number 1, the topic should be relevant to your readers. Okay, so the topic has got to be relevant. A good way to test the relevance of a topic is to ask yourself, do adults have public conversations about it? So whatever you're thinking about writing about, do adults have public conversations about that topic? Can you imagine 2 professors sitting around discussing, having a conversation about that topic? If so, it's probably relevant enough to write about. There's a huge range of acceptable topics in this class. Huge. There are topics that aren't relevant. And it's when you really think about this, can you imagine 2 adults having public conversations? It helps you think about that. You should have, so that's rule number 1. Rule number 2, you should have some personal experience with the topic. This allows you to share insights with the audience that it doesn't already know. Okay, so I'm starting to use some language that I really want to define. An insight is an idea that the audience didn't previously have. So if I'm reading about teenage pregnancy, an insight would be a revelation about teenage pregnancy that I didn't previously know. If you watched my previous videos, I discussed teenage pregnancy as a possible expository topic. Something insightful that a student of mine wrote about teenage pregnancy was the way in which teenage pregnancy made her a better student. The opposite of what the 19-year-old boy would say about teenage pregnancy. When you become pregnant, you immediately get a long list of doctor's appointments For the first time in her life, she bought a planner to write down doctor's appointments. She had a planner. She started writing down school assignments and due dates and projects. She became organized in school, and that organization made her a better student. That's an insight. That's something that, as a 43-year-old man, I did not understand about teenage pregnancy. In fact, I would have guessed that being pregnant as a teen automatically makes you a worse student. That's what expository writing does. It reveals, it teaches. Notice that these insights are not something that can be Googled, right? I mean, I can Google the biological challenges of teenage pregnancy. I can Google the social judgments of teenage pregnancy. I couldn't Google the ways teenage pregnancy makes you a better student. That was something that writer understood as a function of her lived experience. So rule number 2 is write about something you know. Pick a topic about which you have expertise, and you will develop more expertise. Lastly, you should care about the topic. This makes this experience as painless as possible. The freedom to pick your own topics, why not pick something that you care about? The third rule, and it's captured in here in these, is you have to tell the audience something it doesn't already know. So number 1, be relevant. Number 2, write about something you know well. Number 3, you have to tell the audience something it doesn't already know. You can't tell us what we already know. So I want you to explore your lived lives for possible writing topics. What have you experienced? What have you gone through? What have you lived through? What have you survived that would make for an expository topic that other people can learn from, that other people don't know or don't understand completely or in the way in which you understand it? That's the goal of this handout, Choosing a Topic and Getting Focused, is to lead you through an exploration of possible sources for topics. But those topics, whatever you find, must follow the 3 rules. To review them again, it's got to be relevant, it's got to be something that you know a lot about, and you have to be able to tell us what the audience doesn't already know about the topic. If you're following those 3 things, that's a topic that is worth exploring, that is worth pursuing as a topic for essays in this class.